I'm joined with Rodrigo Barbosa from Aura Minerals. Rodrigo, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for the invitation to be here.
So you guys, we were talking pre-interview, aren't really that well known of a name, but you are a heck of a performing stock. I can see you're up nearly 1,000% over the last 5 years. Over the last year, 45%. You guys are, I guess we would classify as a mid-tier, which I would think that you're in that kind of wheelhouse for investors that are kind of going down that chain. You got the majors, and then the mid-tiers I think would be probably next in line.
Right.
How's the phone calls, the meetings? Are you sensing that there's a bunch of capital about to flow in?
Yes, I feel that the market's starting to recognize we are a fast growth company coming from 120,000 ounces of production just 6 years ago, and now targeted to be between this year 260 and 290,000, and developing projects that's in construction already that will put us at 450,000 ounces. So yeah, I think the market start to recognize our shares is going up, although we are still significantly devaluated.
So one of the themes we're hearing about this week is that there's a lot of M&A on the horizon, especially with sort of those mid-tier or small producers. Now, obviously, you can't talk about it publicly, but perhaps you can at least give us a sense of just around you the interest that seems to exist and your interest perhaps in some of the smaller players, if that's something you guys are looking for.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons that we are here today. But we have a very clear path to grow and unlock value to our shareholders. Number one, execution on the project that we already have.
Yep.
So build Borborema and then build Matupá and achieve the 450,000 ounces. Number two is to increase our resources and reserves. We've been increasing along the last years, and then we hope that we continue to increase. We have over 600,000 hectares in exploration rights, and we are drilling $25 million per year. And then the third one is M&A. So we know very much how to get to 450,000 ounces, but we want to go beyond that. As you mentioned, the valuation and the multiple of NAV really start to make sense when you reach over 500,000, 600,000, 700,000 ounces of gold equivalent production. And that's what we are looking now, opening a lot of alternatives in order so that we can put another project to grow in the next 3 years.
So my understanding is you guys have 4 producing mines?
4 producing mines.
1 in Mexico, 1 in Honduras, 2 in Brazil.
2 in Brazil, and building another one in Brazil that will start ramping up in the Q1 next year.
Okay. And what does your current guidance look like for, say, 2025?
We haven't issued the guidance yet for the market in 2025, but this year our guidance is 260 to 290. And then Borborema will come online and will produce additional 85,000 ounces on the yearly basis. But of course, next year it's a ramping up. But by the end of the year, we'll be on the running rate of 85,000.
Okay, so when I look at your asset package, where are we seeing most of the growth coming from?
The most growth is coming from gold. We are gold-copper producer, and in Brazil. So you will see the Borborema project. We just started Almas last year. So now this year is the full year of Almas. Next year will be half of the year Borborema. 2 years from now will be full year of Borborema, and then we also be building Matupá. That should start construction next year and should start the production 2 years after that.
Okay, so you guys announced a pretty large financing on Monday. What are the funds going to be used for?
It's a general use for a cash position. I think the market is offering us a good terms to issue new debt in Brazil. Okay. So it's a general use. Borborema is fully funded. Matupá, once we decide to start the construction, we will have to also fund. But today we are over $200 million on cash position. Okay. Net debt to EBITDA last quarter is 0.7 times, okay. And paying dividends.
What's the royalty rates like in terms of the government taxation when you guys are in Honduras or Brazil?
It varies from country to country. In Honduras, if you got all the royals together with the government, it's changed a little bit depending on the production, but it'll be close to 4 or 5%. Okay. Brazil, 1.5%. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so Brazil is a pretty good place to be operating.
But you also then pay taxes and other stuff. So in the end of the day, it's all very much similar, one country to the other country.
Okay, got it. So what's your outlook on on gold, do you pay much attention to the macro, or are you just mostly focused on operating?
Now, we try not to play on the macro. We focus a lot and produce as much as we can at the lowest cost possible. I feel gold prices today, it's improving. And I think the variables that move the gold price up is there, right? And Fed is talking about decreasing interest rates. First time that we've seen gold price up high with high interest rates. So I think now we have tailwinds, right?
So as you guys grow out and you guys start to generate more cash flow, where do you guys intend to spend those cash flows? Is the plan to be focused on growth, or are you guys going to be a dividend payer?
We will continue to pay dividends. We have a policy of 20% of EBITDA minus recurring CapEx, which has given us an ability to perform on the highest dividend yield in the world without jeopardizing the growth. So we want to continue to grow, building new projects while we pay dividends. And we could prove in the market in the last 3 years that we can do that.
Okay, what's the current dividend?
We are at 20% of EBITDA minus recurring CapEx. We just paid dividends in June this year that performed as 8.8% of dividend yield and share buyback with the last 12 months. Yeah.
Pretty good to have a stock that's performed 45% on the equity side over the last year, and you're getting an 8.8% kicker in the dividend.
There's still a lot to do. I think we have a lot to do.
Okay, so when you're talking about you have a lot to do, let me finish on this note. If I'm an investor watching, or I'm putting you guys on my watch list because I really like those mid-tiers and I think that there's going to be capital flowing into them, what am I watching out of the company over the next year?
I would pay attention to Borborema start. Borborema is scheduled to have the start of the ramp-up Q1 next year. This project is already giving us, with the 2,300 gold price, $440 million of NPV, with only 815,000 ounces of reserves. However, we are already on the procedure to move one road, because this project already has 2 million ounces of measured indicated. And once we move this road 5 kilometers, we will more than double the reserves. And then instantaneously, once we get the permits to do that, we will significantly increase the returns and the NPV of Borborema. So get Borborema done. It's very important, on time, on budget. We built Almas last year on time, on budget, and then expand the reserves of Borborema will be very fast if we get the permits to move the road.
Well, Rodrigo, I thank you for coming on here today. I think you guys are definitely a name we're going to want to be following as we enter what feels like the early stages of a gold bull market, especially on the equity side. So thanks for doing this, and hopefully we can talk again in the future as you guys continue to execute on your strategy.
Thank you very much.